So South Africa should know by the end of tonight whether or not we've avoided that downgrade. Moody is expected to announce whether or not it has downgraded our credit rating to so-called junk status. Remember, it's only one out of the top 3 credit rating agencies that has not downgraded South Africa into sub-investment grade or junk thus far. Let's look back when we first became accustomed to this word and ourselves being relegated to junk status. It's not a good place to be, because when enough agencies have downgraded a country, it is a signal to investors that the country may not be able to pay back its loans, and of course then it becomes more difficult and more expensive to obtain those loans. So it all began last year, 3rd of April 2017, S&P downgrading our sovereign bonds. Now, sovereign bonds are the equivalent to foreign currency rating bonds. However, the rand bonds or local currency bonds remained in investment grade. And the rand bonds are very important because the majority of South African bonds are actually issued in rand. So that is important as well. But it started when S&P downgraded our sovereign or foreign currency bonds, and that was shortly after President Jacob Zuma announced that cabinet reshuffle, which claimed the jobs of the Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan and his deputy SABC Jonas. We fast forward to the 7th of April 2017. Fitch follows suit, downgrading both our sovereign bonds and rand bonds to junk. Then we move to the 9th of June. Moody's downgraded us, but Moody's has traditionally held us in higher regard. So we were one notch above junk status. It kept both foreign and local currency bonds in so-called investment grade. And like I said, it traditionally rates us higher than the other 2 rating agencies. Now in November, Fitch held, but it was a different story from S&P. In November, I think the 24th, S&P downgraded the local currency rating to junk, and it moved us further in terms of the sovereign rating into junk, further into junk status. It then became clear that another junk rating on the sovereign side, or the foreign currency side, or the local currency side could be very detrimental and lead to us being taken off those global bond boards that we hear about that make it very easy for international investors to take on South African debt. So if you're not there, you can lose a whole lot of global investment. It was therefore a huge relief when on the very same day in November, Moody's decided to do nothing. It kept South Africa's credit rating on hold, but on review for a possible downgrade. And that's what we're waiting for tonight. Will it happen or won't it? So let's take a look at where we are at the moment. Both S&P and Fitch rate South Africa's foreign and local currency bonds as junk. So the 2 of them below the line, meaning junk status. But Moody's, it's a different picture. And in November, Moody's said that it would wait and it would assess the composition of the budget as well as political decisions, political developments when making that decision. And of course, Cyril Ramaphosa's ascension to the presidency and better economic growth for last year compared to forecasts are making some more optimistic about whether or not Moody's wait and see attitude will pay off for us and will avoid more downgrades.